Hai detto che ci vogliono a volte 10 anni solo per fare una buona preghiera e magari altri
You
10
said that sometimes we only need
Ecco, allora
10 years to just reach the right prayer and 10 more years till the Creator answers. So I wanted to ask, how do we measure the advancement of the 10 in the plea to the Creator? How can we see if He answers with mud on our man?
I would say this to a person: you have nowhere to run. You have to correct your plea. You don't recognize that the will to receive the Creator created is a will to receive that belongs to all of creation. You don't even recognize what is all creation. It's not even our entire universe. Our universe is just one black point as opposed to the spiritual space. You understand? The distances of galaxies that you can see or imagine is just, all of it is just one black point. Why? Because through that we enter the spiritual space. And there we begin to evolve. So we don't recognize the qualities that we're talking about. The essence that we acquire. I also remember first time I heard from Rabash that he told me about Barasulam, that Barasulam, who found the book Tree of Life at his teachers, he didn't know where to look for his questions. And when he came to the teacher one time, and the teacher wasn't home, he got in and he started looking at his books that he had on his shelves. Suddenly he discovered such a book that's talking about creation, about the worlds, about how they are created and how they're built, and he went crazy. He thought, how can such a thing be there? And then his teacher came in and said, no, keep that where it is. That's not for you. He was very young back then, Barasulam, and so he put it back, but he already knew what it was about. He went to the city right away and he bought that book. And since then, he started studying. And here, Rabash said something that I remembered because it hit me. Rabash said, but he didn't know that it'd take him 20 years until he would come to discover what's in the book. And I remember I grabbed him by the sleeve. 20 years? I was young back then. And he said, well, kind of like this. And, well, why am I telling you that? First of all, I'm sharing with you everything, just so you know. I've received it from a person who was at a very high spiritual degree, and so it's good that you would know it. On the other hand, we live in a completely different time. The acceleration of time that's happening means time is more compressed. And so we don't need this in our time, but still we are talking about a few good years. And as we entered now to this global pandemic and all these corporeal changes, these are indications that we are moving towards advanced phases in spirituality as well. But we have to invest. We have to put in the efforts. And then you'll see that it won't take 20 years. And I think that we are really standing at the threshold. You'll see. But patience is about not leaving the prayer, that we attack the Creator with all our pleas. Whether they're more or less correct, it doesn't matter. It's like a child that is that keeps bothering the adult, his mom, let's say, his parents, until he gets what he wants. That's what we need. Especially the very little children. They just want and want and want, and that's the example. All right.